Our first game is going to be the Mech Mage from MagicWind here versus the Patron Warrior from ChinaYLD on the top. Just to reiterate, it is Tongfu's YLD on the top, and it's going to be MagicWind on the bottom here as we get into this game. And no brawl, typically in Patron Warrior, so you're basically relying on your early minions to kind of hold off the Mech Mage here. And there is a, excuse me, there is a Fiery War Axe here for YLD, so that will help him pretty much in this matchup. We'll see what MagicWind does decide to go for here. Could go for that Mad Scientist to get, the Mirror Entity or the Counterspell out of his deck. He's already seen a coin, and yeah, does go for that actually, interestingly enough. And it doesn't want to just freeze up his opponent potentially.
Yes. Actually, as Patron Warrior, you don't want to give your opponent things as well, so it could be a tricky decision for. Oh, actually, that's Clockwork Knight there from MagicWind that we just saw, which is an interesting decision. And MagicWind here just looking for that permanent freezing on the. Even though,
I mean, YLD is kind of in an interesting spot here, right? Because if he plays out his Frothing Berserker, he has a pretty easy kill on it. However, if he does go for the kill on the Frothing Berserker, then he might be permanently frozen if, his Frothing Berserker isn't able to get anything done. So it looks like it's actually just going to be a kill onto this, this guy first, this Snow Chugga here from the Armor Smith, and realizes that, it's actually going to use his face here, interestingly enough. But ChinaYLD realizes that, it is not the Counterspell. There it is, the Mirror Entity. Keep in mind, these players don't really know the contents of their opponent's deck. They're not actually able to watch the, the matches of their opponent. So just keep in mind as we go forward. Looks like MagicWind's reaching for this Snow Chug, which means it's going to be either the Frostbolt or the Annoyatron coming out afterward. An interesting decision by YLD again to freeze his own face, but keep his Armor Smith pretty healthy here, so it has to be Frostbolted off and can't just be pinged.
Yeah, he actually now can give his opponent true Taskmaster as well, even though you don't want to make this Snow Chugger 4-2 and
a Huffer Snow Chugger. A Huffer Snow Chugger that freezes your face? No thanks. But
feels nice, especially actually MagicWind could play the Clockwork Knight next turn as well. So, what would you do here, DD?
I mean, you might just play out a Frothing Berserker and just give it to your opponent here. You just saw a Frostbolt coming out of your opponent, so it's not too big of a deal. Just throw it out there. And you can't really trade into it if you're the opponent. One of your guys has to die. You can't just throw, both guys into the Frothing Berserker. So it might be a worthwhile, gamble to go for that Frothing Berserker. The only problem with that is that you're not able to kill off this, the Snow Chugga afterward anyway, because you're going to be frozen again. And so yeah, it's going to just be the Fiery War Axe. I'm imagining where I see this Clockwork Knight come out here and just continue to freeze the face. Making this guy into a 3-4 is actually a big deal because it makes it very hard to kill.
Yes, indeed. And they might be looking for that execute. Actually mulligan away earlier. So kind of questionable decision early on from YLD. Then he might start to regret now. Still some indications. Oh, you can give the Acolyte, but that's more card draw for the Freeze Mage, which is not what you want to see.
The Mech Mage. Yeah, you definitely don't want to give card draw to the Mech Mage, because Mech Mage basically, they have, maybe Arcane Intellect, maybe Azure Drake. For the most part, though, they're just kind of playing out their stuff early on, and they, if the game goes long, they typically can't really win the game because of that lack of card draw. But if you keep giving them cards, they're perfectly fine with playing out minions onto the field. And again, there's no brawl in Patron Warrior, so that's not, I mean, honestly, I think the Acolyte would be more dangerous to your opponent or more dangerous for you than something like a Frothing Berserker. So it looks like it's going to be the Cool Taskmaster to proc the Mirror Entity out here. Then going to play the Acolyte Pain. Doesn't want to give his opponent, free cards here. Can actually play out this Inner Rage. Picks up a Patron for his Trouble, which he may maybe play in the future. But there's a 5/3 Snow Chugga on the board. That guy is chugging along. He's angry.
Yeah, and he could kill this
Yeah, I think.
Aquapain.
Yeah, exactly. You do kill it this way. Otherwise, you don't want to give him too many cards off of that. And yeah, just use this Goblin Blast Mage. Probably want to ping it off. Oh wow, it stays alive. That's really unfortunate for MagicWind there. I think you just want to ping this off and just continue hitting the face. Even though you don't develop a minion, you can develop those guys later. And 5 damage to the face is a lot of damage to the face. Yeah, so there you go. See the
Well,
ping.
I mean, you can play the Annoying Trial because your opponent's face is frozen, so
That is true.
this play is reasonable, but I kind of prefer.
Yeah, so basically, YLD, he's dead on board, so he needs to start just searching for Execute here. He can't go, for the Patrons and all. And that's going to be game. He is unable to live through this turn. And MagicWind takes game number 1 with his Mech Mage.
Actually, MagicWind is doing really good today, and 2-0 for MagicWind.
Right, he won with his Mech Mage earlier as well, but unfortunately lost that series 3-1. So, even though YLD is down in this series, it's gonna. I mean, it might be okay for him, right? Because we saw MagicWind lose that other series 3-1. So, YLD has a chance to come back. Again, he has the Patron Warrior, the Druid, and the Shaman that he's able to play in this series. Wasn't able to play the Shaman last series because it was banned out. And as for MagicWind, we have Paladin and Warlock for him. By the way, MagicWind, I don't think we saw his Warlock last series, did we? We saw a lot of his mid-range Paladin, which kind of just
It was 2, wasn't it?
Yeah, it feels like it's 2, but for some reason, I don't remember him playing it.
What 2 was with Argent Squire in it.
Right. That is true. He did play that. So, he did play that deck. Unfortunately, it lost for him, so didn't go too well in that case. But we'll see if it fares a bit better in this particular series, and we'll see what he goes with coming up next. It is going to be that Zoo. My mistake for forgetting it earlier. It's going to be the Zoo versus the Shaman. And this matchup, basically, whoever gets the faster earlier start ends up being the victor here most of the time. We've seen sometimes where, Lothar was able to lock out the Shaman from winning the game, and then the Zoo won after having, a slower start. But typically, whoever gets the fastest start wins the game. And the reason is because if the Shaman doesn't get the early board lead, then they basically just run out of options, and the Zoo just kills them with their superior board size. But if the Shaman can get the board lead earlier, board lead early, then they can just put that into use by just killing their opponent by going face. It's kind of like Face Hunter versus Zoo in this matchup. Night Juggler hitting the field, which means that this Argent Squire can start doing some work. We'll see if there is a trade onto this Night Juggler. Probably going to be the case. I can't really imagine. Well, okay, there's going to be a kill on the Night Juggler. It's just going to be whether he wants to use his Leper Gnome or this Argent Horse Rider. And yeah, gonna elect to just keep as much stuff on the board here.
Yeah, that.
So Void Caller comes onto the board, and nothing to really summon out of his hand, but still a minion that's pretty healthy and can start doing trades.
Yes. Well, he could go for double draw here.
The only problem with going for double draw is you only have 1 mana after that, which is a bit of an issue. We could see kind of a YOLO Crackle onto this Void Caller. I mean, this definitely could be a YOLO Void Caller, right? Or a Void Caller without anything in the hand. If we do see that that's the case. And the reason for doing so would be just you want to get something on the field to contest your opponent's board. But it would be pretty risky here for YLD if you went for the kill on this Void Caller.
Yeah, I mean, we actually saw Forever did that a long time ago in Group B, and he got Mark Annis return, and probably he saw that and will consider his options here. Yeah, I'd like really go for double draw anyway, because you can I mean just play the Earthshock next turn, just get a
I mean,
What?
I think this is fine because you really want to start developing the board. Your Earthshock doesn't really do anything. It just kind of, takes away a guy. I mean, you really want to just Earthshock taunts in this situation because your opponent's already at 22. And you really want to get this Feral Spirit on the board next turn. So I can understand where YLD is coming from.
Yeah, that's definitely reasonable.
Anyway, for MagicWind, has a bit of a decision here. He can play his Dark Iron Dwarf, but you're basically just playing a 4/4 onto the field. You're not actually getting anything done. He doesn't really want to tap either against the Shaman. So yeah, I think you just play this on the field and just, suck it up that you're not going to get too much damage. The fact that he is not buffing the Leper Gnome to trade his Void Color. For instance, if he had Mal'Ganis, I feel like he would just... Oh, he's going to actually go face here. Interesting. But if he did kill the Leper Gnome, it would have been a slight tell to YLD that there was nothing in hand. So YLD, by virtue of going with the not double draw last turn, now he's able to play out his Feral Spirit and continue on his merry way, hitting the face. Mal'Ganis now hits the field. That is absolutely huge. There could be a power overwhelming from this Void Caller here, just to get the Mal'Ganis out. But it looks like it's going to be Lothar first, so that nothing actually can happen on the side of YLD. We see his entire hand is spells, so not really much to do here.
Yeah, he needs to draw a minion because even that's a minion, but I was going to say that he could not play Doomhammer with full mana there. Taunt Totem pretty good there, but Mal'Ganis is coming down. Actually, this MagicWind could hit the new Nephilim and nullify that 2 damage to face.
Right. Yeah, definitely. So you could basically just get up these Mal'Ganis for... Well, you can't really get the Mal'Ganis... Oh, yeah, you can. Okay. So, yeah, he could actually... He has... Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I'm kind of like going around in circles. He has to hit the new Leper Gnome because otherwise, if he has the old Leper Gnome, the damage comes first. That's actually kind of an interesting dynamic there. But, like, looks like MagicWind is just going to hit face with this Lothar. Yeah, you definitely want to hit the new Leper Gnome so that when the Mal'Ganis comes out, the damage comes afterward. And as you can see, the death rattle... Oh! He took the damage. That's interesting.
Oh!
I didn't think that was going to happen. Huh.
Neither did I, so actually I was suggesting the play.
Right. That's bizarre. That's kind of bizarre. Anyway, in any case, gonna go ahead and kill off this the second Leper Gnome and make sure he doesn't take any damage. A lot of damage on the field here for MagicWind. There is an Earthshock to, basically get rid of the Mal'Ganis effect, but there's a lot of damage behind it. I mean, silencing Mal'Ganis doesn't take away the fact that he's, a 9 attack creature, which will do a lot of damage to you. So, pretty tough decision here again for YLD. He doesn't have lethal, can't really do 16 damage to his opponent, so I imagine he has to play Feral Spirit, but then that kind of locks him up for the next turn, unfortunately. And we'll see what MagicWind can do after YLD plays out his turn. MagicWind has quite a bit of damage on the field, even if the Feral Spirits were played. Let's see, he has he can use the Haunted Creeper and the Imp King boss to kill off one of the Feral Spirits, assuming that Mal'Ganis is silenced here. And he can use the Dark Iron Dwarf for the other one, and then that leaves him with 14. Oh, he just kills it off. Interesting.
Oh, that's the YOLO play paid off.
Wow. Well, he did have Earthshock as well, so even if it hit for 5, he would still be able to kill it. So basically, it was 3 and 4 chance of killing it. But this does allow him to play out his Feral Spirit right now.
Yes, but actually he's in a lot of overload. And he's facing Dr. Boom as well. He needs to draw something like a Lava Shard to unlock.
Right.
But,
so MagicWind, kind of an interesting decision here. Looks like he's going to hit the face with this Dark Iron Dwarf. He's not really getting much value out of this, out of the 1/1s. Or he's not, basically, he's missing 2 1/1s here by doing this. So this is actually a bit of a misplay, I think, because he could have had the same damage on the field, and if he threw away the Dark Iron Dwarf, he would have had more 1/1s anyway. I guess he would have been one less, but overall. But he ends up going for this play. YLD, since he's in a bit of trouble, how much damage is there on the field? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 16, 21, 22. So that's way more than enough. He had enough even without that second power overwhelming.
Never
So
mind.
yeah, it didn't really matter. Yeah, it's going to be lethal. He's kind of hesitating here, interestingly enough. But yeah, that's going to be it. Double power overwhelming. These big boom bots are going to be hitting the face. And MagicWind is going to take a 2-0 series lead. He's on match point. YLD has 1 foot out the door of this tournament.
That's what's happening here, but that mid-range paladin deck is actually. Oh, I was going to say it's kind of wonky because there's Swamp Point in it, but YLD has Shaman. YLD has Shaman.
Right. Yeah, the ooze will be pretty valuable in that situation. So that's what MagicWind's looking for to be able to do, basically shut down the Shaman if that comes up next. But we'll see what YLD does decide to go for. He could just try to get, win under his belt with that Patron Warrior. He can also go for Druid. Not the greatest matchup against, mid-range Paladin either. But yeah, basically things not looking good for YLD right now. And MagicWind just needs one more win with his mid-range Paladin to get to the decider match.
Yes, these things are looking really bad for YLD, and we'll go into the third game soon.
Right. So, yeah, YLD just kind of deciding what to choose here. There's no, extra value for getting, wins in this manner. In the Hearthstone team story, for instance, every game matters, but right now he just wants to win the series, so it doesn't really matter. In any case, Zombie Chow turn 1 is the best thing you can have if you're going against an aggressive deck, and that's exactly what MagicWind has in his hand. Let's see how YLD deals with this. Looks like he's gonna go just coin into this Totem Golem. He has the Surf Friendly Murgle in the follow up anyway, so being an overload doesn't really matter too much in this situation. But yeah, a pretty good option here for YLD.
And your power pass is MagicWind there. Not too happy about it.
Yeah, nothing really he could do there. So Hunter, Mage, or Paladin. Probably going to be Hunter. And yeah, YLD in a pretty good spot here. We see Doomhammer in his hand and no Harrison, importantly, on the side of MagicWind. So that's going to be pretty important, obviously, going forward. I imagine you take out this Zombie Chow, even though it seems weak. Nope, just going to actually hit the face here. This will allow the Zombie Chow to go ahead and kill off the Mini Murgleton, which is pretty important. But 3 damage is 3 damage.
3 damage is indeed 3 damage. Impeccable math from D2 there.
I know. I do what I can. Lava Shock is pretty interesting here because YLD can actually use his Feral Spirit, and then on the following turn he can play his Whirling Zap-O-Matic plus the Lava Shock. Obviously, he put the Lava Shock first, but it would be pretty useful in the future if he does go for that. He can also go for the Arch and Horsefighter and kill off the Knife Juggler, though he already has a pretty good trade in the Knife Juggler, and no real way to kill the Totem Golem after a Totem Golem kills off the Knife Juggler. So yeah, this is pretty good for him.
Yes, indeed. And actually, MagicWind could either play the Bless of the Kings and kill off one of the dwarfs there, or play the Shredder, which, even though not very probable, but can give you a light wall or Vitality Totem later on.
Right. The thing is, this Zombie Chow just kind of dies to the boards. I don't know if this is the greatest thing for him to do. YLD right now has a decision to make. He could go for the Totem Golem along with the Lava Shock, or he'd go for the Whirling Zap-O-Matic. Obviously, Whirling Zap-O-Matic is much weaker to consecrate, but Totem Golem makes him overloaded so that he can't use his Doomhammer next turn. So it looks like he's favoring being able to play Doomhammer next turn, so he goes for the Whirling Zap-O-Matic. If there's no consecrate also, this is really, really powerful, obviously.
Yes, actually, we didn't see MagicWind's consecrate too much in the first series as well. I mean, this Stealth Breacher will help, but
Right. I
not
mean,
really
the
the
funny thing about
greatest.
yeah, the funny thing about Shaman is that even when they don't have a way to silence stuff, they kill taunts so easily, right? They can, use they use the Doom Hammer. You can use Lava Burst, and yeah, this guy's just going away. And this is one of the benefits of having Whirling Diplomatic, right? Sometimes you just get free wins by having on the field. That's an extra 6 damage just for 2 mana that now has to be cleared. And yeah, YLD is in a really good spot. Even after this Black Knight comes down, I mean, so much damage being put onto ChinaYLD here.
Yeah, just a truck, not really anything that the MagicWind wanted, like a Logitron or Vitality. Just hero power, and now MagicWind is down to six.
And that's game,
Any
right?
heal? So
There's no taunt, there's no heal. That's just going to be game. And he's actually just dead on board, actually, not even looking at the hand. But yeah, it's going to be the first game for YLD in the series. Let's see if he can make it a comeback. But for now, it's still a pretty uphill climb for him. He does take the game with his Shaman. And that's going to be at 1-2. MagicWind still with his Paladin. And YLD has to win with both Warrior and Druid. However, the Warrior is a pretty good matchup, so as long as you get away with the Druid, which is not inconceivable, it's definitely favored for the mid-range Paladin, but, mid-range Druid is definitely capable of winning that matchup, so we'll see how it goes.
yeah, especially that we consider that MagicWind has a lot of things like a Swamp Pool. Also, while the has already seen that Black Line, he will be able to play around that. He will be just get
Just
a lot
charge
of
every time, always charge, right? And then
yeah, always charge.
always
So
uproot. If you have instant wars, always uproot.
uproot is kind of off, but yeah, uproot or riot.
Uproot or right,
Uh,
indeed. So we're gonna see that Druid coming out right here. Again, the Zombie Chow. I'm actually slightly surprised that MagicWind is elected to not keep that Cog Hammer. It could be pretty useful in the early game, and doesn't really pick up any early drops to compensate for it. But it's going to have an interesting... Oh, so there is Living Roots. So, unfortunately, Living Roots doesn't really deal with Zombie Chow too well. And YLD is... Oh, there's a mini-bot. Okay. So, YLD is likely going to want to play Innervate here. Or, sorry, not Innervate, Wild Growth. So yeah, not going to be able to use that hero power to kill off this Zombie Chow. Picks up Harrison Jones, though, which is very, very valuable in this matchup. Double
yeah, and
mini-bot. So, Living Roots is actually pretty good against mini-bot to ping off that shield. However, that's a card that he's already used, so not the best use of that, I would say. Shredder hitting the field right now, and going to contest both of these guys. We'll see how MagicWind responds. Actually going to go for his own Shredder here, which locks him out of being able to play that Sludge Belcher in the future, or at least the following turn. I guess this one wants to put more pressure on the board right away. Maybe he picks up a 4-drop coming up like a True Silver, but absent that, he can just go for the mini-bot and a hero power, which is reasonable as well.
oh,
Innovate Dr. Boom. That just happened.
that happened. The top decking machine has already told what you're going to play.
Well, there is a potential clear here for MagicWind, depending on what this Shredder hits. There's the Ooze, which is not too useful here. So it looks like it's probably going to be a double attack into this Dr. Boom, as well as a Consecrate. Really the only thing you can do in this situation. Ooh, that is one of the best things that you can get in this situation. So yeah, going to be a Consecrate. And let's see if this Nerubian pops out.
Face of LD. That's
Wow. So there's a Mana Wraith, which is will lock YLD out of playing, or using his hero power, excuse me. But yeah, that Nerubian coming out is absolutely huge for MagicWind. Probably the best thing you could have gotten.
yeah. Oh my.
That's pretty insane. I mean, when you face Dr. Boom, minus Big Game Hunter, that's one of the best ways you can deal with it, obviously. Just pop up my 4/4 here. Sounds pretty good. And yeah, kills off the Mana Wraith. It will play the Sludge Belcher behind it, which is the natural predator of this Shredder here. Gonna be Force Nature coming out, and that looks pretty good for MagicWind because now he knows that one force is out of the way. If he sees a second force, he's not gonna be in danger of dying to combo shenanigans, which is typically how Druid wins this matchup.
Yeah, and I guess the Shredder really ruined things for Wildy here, and I think he's on the verge of elimination here.
Actually, gonna trade in his Shredder. Interestingly enough, I suppose this was the only way I guess to kill off the Nerubian here. Picks up a Garrison Commander, which will allow him to hero power twice, though I don't think that's too valuable here. On the side of MagicWind, it's gonna go double 2-drop as well as a hero power. And we'll see how WildE deals with this. He can start doing value trades, or he can, go for the higher tech minion. Obviously, Paladin has no burst, so I think you go for the value trade in this situation. Actually, he can just double hero power, can't he? Double hero power, and then use kill off the ooze with his face. Then use his keeper. Problem with using keeper, obviously, is that you don't have keeper for tiering, which could be coming up soon.
Yeah. I mean, Tyrion is not coming next turn, so I think you still want to do something else. And if MagicWind decides to draws the Dr. Boom and plays it, since my return the other side. Oh.
Yeah, there was a kill onto the 1/1, which basically makes this Quartermaster a bit worse. WildE correctly reading that could be the case, and just a solid board here out for for MagicWind, and it's actually not game over quite yet. I mean, the only way for Paladin to win really is to put a lot of pressure on, and YLD still at 27 health, still looking okay, and if he's able to clear off this Tyrion, he can basically replenish his cards with that Harrison.
Yes, somehow, but is there any way for him to do that?
Yeah, it could be tough. Depends on what he gets. Something like a Wrath would be pretty useful the following turn. We'll see if he goes for the Savage Roar here to start clearing off part of this board. Obviously, he can double hero power, so that would be pretty helpful. Temple BGH also could be a thing, but it dies really easily to this board unless he can clear it off, which at the moment he can't. So, yeah, it might just be a Savage Roar plus double hero power.
Double hero power is probably out of the day, but...
Ooh, plays out the Temple BGH. Realizing that really the only thing that he has to kill that's, BGHable in the deck of MagicWind is that Dr. Boom, and it might not come for a while here. But yeah, gonna be a kill off on this mini-bot, it seems like, just so there aren't many good trades. And probably just gonna hit the face. He can double. Yeah, he's gonna just go get the extra armor. Unfortunately, you can't attack twice. That'd be really cool if that were to be the case. Anyway, I imagine it's gonna be Tyrion. It doesn't really make sense to not play Tyrion, to be frank. And we'll see what the trades are. I mean, he could throw away his 3/3 onto the BGH and then keep a 2/3 Quartermaster. Or he could keep a 3/1 and a 2/1. So, looks like he's going to go for tossing away his 3/3, so he's not too weak to swipe.
Yeah, swipe is one of the cards that you don't want to see from the Druid here. Druid of the Claw.
Druid of the Claw plus Savage Roar can kill off this Tyrion just by using his face, and then he can use the Keeper with the Savage Roar to kill off the Quartermaster. You're only going to get 2 cards off of the Ashbringer in that scenario, but oh, he's actually going to go with this. Interesting. I'm going to go in taunt form. You see YLD kind of grimacing here, not too happy about taking the 6 damage there. It hurts, it definitely hurts. So, what are we going to see here from MagicWind? Probably just going to go ahead and kill off this Druid of the Claw, nice and easy. From there, if he gets a couple of fortuitous knives, he can kill off this Keeper of the Grove. If he plays a Knife Triangle plus a Sludge Belcher and a Hero Power. 25% chance for that. Looks like he's gonna just start committing to the board once he runs out of cards. Ooh, hits for the first knife. See, the second one goes, doesn't get it. And just gonna go to the face with the rest. So this is kind of bad for YLD, but he does get to replenish his hand, which is good for him. So yeah, it's going to be a kill here. Plays a Harrison. Let's see MagicWind's response. Not too much of a response. Kind of unhappy, but not the worst thing ever, obviously. And I imagine it's just going to be... Oh, it's actually going to use Keeper. Okay. I guess that makes sense. He's taking a lot of damage. Might as well kill off this Night Juggler before it does too much damage. Though that would have been really nice, though, considering that MagicWind's entire hand is spells.
Oh, that Blessing of the Kings is really good. Consider that YLD has used uh, both his keeper, and so is this life juggler.
Yeah, Night
But
Juggler, it's a bit risky to play it out right now because you can get so many knives the following turn using those muster for battles. So, probably not going to get punished. I think there's a way to kill the Knife Juggler right now, but it involves jumping through a lot of hoops. Ooh, that's a card. Wow, that is a card. Oh my goodness. Okay,
oh
so goodbye Knife Juggler. And now YLD is definitely back in the game now. That is absolutely insane. Yeah, swipe was pretty much right on time for him. And we'll see how MagicWind kind of comes back here. Equality is a pretty good option to get rid of this board. He just saw... Oh, yeah, you kill the... you don't take 1 extra damage for no reason at all. So yeah, just saw swipe, so it definitely makes sense to just fill up this board once again. I figure you'd probably just play the BGH, right? I mean, you've already cleared the Dr. Booms. I don't see any reason why not.
yeah, that's true. But you can actually kill something with the Blessing Kings on your opponent. With that,
I mean, I think most of the time you're more likely just better off blessing a king your own guy rather than going for that. Yeah, so I think I would just like to see the BGH. It's pretty valuable out on the field rather than doing nothing languishing in the hand. But yeah, this game is completely back and forth. I mean, it started off obviously hugely in favor of MagicWind after, Team Nerubian popped out and he was able to kill that Dr. Boom. But, the Harrison onto the Ashbringer has really helped out YLD here, and it's still a game. I'm actually kind of surprised. Yeah, sorry to cut you off there. I'm actually really surprised he's playing this Wild Growth out. I would have suspected he was going to go for double 5-drop, which would have been very, very powerful. I guess he just wants to pick up combo here, but I mean, you get a lot of damage in with those double 5-drops.
yeah, I was going to suggest you play low step and charge interface, which basically call for lethal there. Now this Sylvanas is actually not getting too much value, so
Gonna be able to take one of these 1/1s. I don't think you trade all of them in. Yeah, you still retain one of the 1/1s here, so it definitely makes sense to... Actually, no. Hold on. Wait. You're gonna have to kill for all your 1/1s anyway.
yeah,
I guess it doesn't really matter. Oh, he's gonna go ahead and do this. Okay, this makes sense. Just, actually gonna hit the face here, interestingly enough. So, with combo, there's 17 damage from ChinaYLD. With double combo, it would be lethal, obviously. But that 1/1 would be irrelevant in that situation. So, gonna go ahead and hit the face. Obviously, his MagicWind needs to start killing his opponent. He's running out of space to do anything here. It doesn't have any cards. Already used lay on hands. Ancient Lore comes in the hand of YLD, and it'll be interesting to see if he plays it out. He could go for the double 5-drops this turn, which is what I wanted to see last turn. But the lore, yeah, obviously the lore. I mean, you don't know if you want to, use healing or not, or use go for the cards here. But gonna be double 5-drop. Gonna use charge just to make sure nothing crazy happens. But this lore can definitely, or this Lothar, excuse me, can just get killed off right here. Finally, we see the tempo BGH. This could have been pretty useful earlier. Actually, is he gonna hit the face? Okay, no, gonna kill off this Lothar, and still. Somewhat of a board here for MagicWind, and he gets to use, pretty good hero power every single turn. Going to be up to YLD to see if he can pick up combo sooner rather than later. Ancient of War is a pretty big card. However, he does know that his opponent plays Black Knight, so that would be really unfortunate for him. We could actually potentially see an uproot here, since we obviously have the Temple BGH on the field. Uproot or right string?
Yeah, I mean, I really what should have been played, but this is just play the safe. Um, oh, low step. This is going to be
Yeah, this is pretty painful here. You can swipe, but it costs 9 mana. It's basically your entire turn. Um, and you can't hero power after that, which is obviously kind of difficult to deal with. So actually, he cannot swipe clear this because that would mean that, I mean, he can't clear off the remaining BGH, right? If he decides to swipe, for instance, the Healbot and kill off the Loatheb. So he has to go for this Ancient Lore. Probably kill off this
no. I
Loatheb
think
here.
you go for the taunt, just because your opponent has to top deck
I
basically.
mean, Ancient. That's what I meant. Yeah, Ancient of War. Yeah, so that's what I meant. Go for the Ancient of War. Just got my words mixed up there. So yeah, this Ancient of War is a pretty big deal. There is a way to kill on board, however. And oh my god, that's an owl right off the top, and that is going to be this series. And MagicWind is going to advance to the decider match, and ChinaYLD. You can see on his face, very, very painful. He is out of the tournament. Congratulations to MagicWind.
Congratulations! Oh, I mean, congratulations. Probably a bit too early, but
Wow, YLD is
some
crushing.
commiserations for YLD there.